Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 16th of April 2022 and we're publishing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 15th of April, even though equity markets closed on the 14th. So let's see what happened last week and what we're expecting this coming week. Gold rose $28 last week, rising from $1,947 to $1,975, having hit a high of $1,981 and a low of $1,940, a rise of 1.4%, adding in fact to the previous week's rise of 1.2%. In sterling terms, gold finished the week at £1,512, that's up £16, and in euros it closed at 1,825 euros, that's up 35 euros. Yes, gold and silver both rose in euro terms quite significantly. Silver rose 89 cents, rising from $24.79 to $25.68, having hit a high of $25.89 and a low of $24.69. A rise of 3.6%. It actually performed, although within our target, better than we anticipated in fairness. In sterling terms, silver closed at £19.66, that's up 62p on the week, and in euros it closed at 23.74 euros, that's up 0.94 euros, very close to a full euro. The gold to silver ratio fell from 78.5 to 1 to 76.9 to 1. Bitcoin has also fallen some $2,378, so another fall again, and currently just stands above $40,000 at $40,094. Now looking at equity markets, the Dow Jones closed on Thursday at 34,451, down 113 points on the day and down 270 on the week. The S&P 500 closed at 4,392, down 54 on the day and down 96 on the week. And the Nasdaq Composite closed at 13,351, down 292 points on the day and down 360 points on the week. So the Nasdaq taking the brunt of the fall. Oil prices unfortunately back up. Brent crude closed at $111.70, that's up $8.92. We were all hoping it was going to dip below that $100 again, but not so. And WTI crude closed at $106.95. and that's up $8.39 on the week. The dollar index stands at a very healthy, for the dollar that is, 100.50, up 7.71 on the week. The dollar's still benefiting and we haven't even had the FOMC rate rises yet. We concluded last week's video with the following forecast. We expect to see gold trading between 1900 and 2000, with 1850 to 2025 as outliers. We see silver trading between 24 and 25.25 and 23.60 and 25.90 as outliers. Well, gold traded within our normal range, but silver closed within our outlier range, stayed within that range, but towards the upside. In fact, I think at one point we were just 1 cent within our range, but that was for a very short period of time. What was interesting was that gold traded between a high and low of $41, or just 2%, while silver traded $1.20 between its high and low, which represents 4.6% margin, more than double the percentage range. Now let's have a little look at the economic data and what we can expect this coming week. Okay, so looking at the economic data, we can see that on Monday, we had the New York Fed median one-year expected inflation for March, which came in at 6.6%, compared with the previous figure of 6%, and the 3-year expected inflation at 3.7%, compared with 3.8%. Now, more importantly, and as we pointed out really critically for the week, and we did in fact see silver particularly and gold rise after these figures came out, the CPI, 1.2% on the monthly basis compared with expectations of 1.1%, and core CPI monthly 0.3 compared with 0.5. But the year-over-year figure for CPI was 8.5%. Then on Wednesday, we had the producer price index, final demand at 1.4, again showing prices higher. And then the jobs figures, interesting. The initial jobless claims were up at 185,000. The continuing jobless claims, though, were down at 1.48 million. Retail sales lower in March than they were in February, and also lower than expectations of 0.6%. If you exclude, though, motor vehicles, you can see that they were actually higher in March. We also have here import price index at 2.6. So again, prices are rising. That's not surprising. And business inventories for Feb at 1.5 compared with 1.3. Then on Friday, but of course the markets couldn't react to Friday because they were closed for Good Friday. But on Friday, we have the Empire State Manufacturing Index coming in at a very hefty 24.6 for April, compared with minus 11.8. Industrial production 0.9, compared with the same the previous month, but higher than expectations. And capacity utilization 78.3, higher than the expected 77.8. Now, what do we have coming up this following week? Well, on Monday, the NAHB Home Builders Index. Not going to take too much notice of that, in fairness. Tuesday, building permits and housing starts will have some influence, but not significant. Wednesday, existing home sales, and the Federal Reserve releases its beige book. Again, we're not going to get overexcited about that either. Thursday, initial jobless claims, continuous jobless claims, and then the leading economic indicators. And then on Friday, realistically, the flash market manufacturing and services PMIs. It'll be the following week that will have more relevance as we then start to approach May and the next FOMC meeting. So basically, we're not going to expect this coming week to be particularly exciting on the economic news front. Okay, now having looked at the economic data and what we can expect, let's look at how gold and silver are looking at technically. Gold markets looking bullish, and some analysts are even suggesting a rise to as high as $2,100 during the next week or two. We see some resistance, of course, at 2,000, and then a number of points between 2016 and 2050. Should gold exceed 2060, then 2,100 will certainly be within sight. To the downside, we have support at 1950 and 1921, which is where the 50 EMA sits. We can see some bullish sentiment for gold and silver between now and the next FOMC meeting, which is on May the 4th, or at least the announcement's May the 4th. They meet the 3rd and the 4th. And then we could potentially, just potentially, see some pullback depending on how aggressive the Fed is. For silver, we have considerable resistance at 26.25 and almost impenetrable resistance at 27, though never say never. But this is the level that bullish analysts will be aiming for, so we can expect some pushing up of silver. Support exists at $25.50 and $25 underneath, with extremely strong support at this level of $24.77. We think after May the 4th it could be a bit of a game changer, but until then we're expecting higher prices. So with that in mind, we expect to see gold trading between 1940 and 2025, with 1900 and really 2060 as outliers. We see silver trading between 24.75 and 26, and 24.25 to 26.75 as outliers. What do you think? Do share your thoughts. Now, thank you for listening to this video. We wish everyone a happy Easter, for those obviously of the Christian faith, and if not, happy holidays. And have a very, very enjoyable weekend. But before you go, if you haven't done so, do subscribe to our channel and press that bell sign. And before we disappear altogether for today, just a reminder, we're not producing many videos at the moment. We are going through some changes with Illuminati Silver. It's taking a little bit longer than I planned. These things always do when you're not a technical wizard, as we are not, unfortunately. But that said, if something significant happens during the course of the week, then of course we will put out additional videos. But at the moment, it's relatively unexciting, though marginally bullish. Also, because our video last weekend didn't do particularly well, we're going to duplicate this video with just a different image and heading, but it will be an exact replica of this video, and that will go out tomorrow. So if you've listened to this one, there will be no need to listen to that one. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management, and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.